Hi, this is Rob Garbus with a quick Mainsaver tech tip on the calibration module. The calibration module is present in the preventive maintenance module. You have to have a serial number that turns that on because it is an optional module. The first thing we're going to look at is an asset. So when you have an asset that will be calibrated, there's a little checkbox here. So when I turn on this calibration flag, you'll see it opens up the calibration tab on the asset record. What this means is that I can attach calibration specs to the asset, or I can do it later. So if I already have this is a temperature probe, so I already have a 25 degrees centigrade procedure set up. So let's see if I can find it. There it is. And now this will be brought into any calibrations that I set up on this asset. So that's the first step. The next thing we would do is set up all the calibration specs, and that's done in the preventive maintenance module under calibrations, and under options here you would build a library of calibration specifications. The specifications are made up of a title, in this case temp at 25 centigrade, and then steps or procedures or instructions that make up the calibration. So if I want to add a new one, let's say I want to calibrate this at 100 degrees centigrade as well, I'll create one called temp 100C, and we'll just call this temperature reading at 100C. Now in order to set this up, I'm going to go ahead down here and add some of the steps. So there's three types of steps, and the first one is called a procedure. When you close out the work order, or when you edit the work order and put in the results, this gives you a chance to put in a checkbox to show that you did a certain step. It kind of says, can you verify that you did this step of the calibration? So I'll just say prepare 100C water bath, and that's the procedure. Now I'll add the calibration. This is the actual value. Record temp probe reading. And normally this is going to be 100. The standard value is 100. The unit of measure is degrees C. Units of measure are set up in System Admin if you don't see the ones that come with Mainsaver. And let's say that a low acceptable value is 99 and a high value is 101. And then I want to have one more instruction. This is just text. So at this point I want to record the results in work order and the sheet. And we'll make this an instruction. Okay. And you can have as many steps as you want. So now what we have to do is set up a calibration. It's essentially a PM record, and this controls when this is scheduled. So this is just to calibrate. And the asset, I'm going to look up my temp probe. So I've got probe 1. And I'm going to do this every 6 months. And let's just say the last time we did it was 6 months ago. So it was due on 10/26. And I'm just going to say perform calibration on attached sheet, because we'll get the work order page and we'll get a page with the calibration specification. On this tab for the calibration now, it already has my temp at 25C specification in there because that was attached to the asset. I also want to add in the 100C, so those will be on the sheet. I might want to, some of these things are just fields you can record about the ambient temperature, humidity, that type of thing. If you don't want these, you can delete them out. There's no harm in getting rid of these. And that's all I need to do. So whenever I'm ready to generate, I come in and we'll just go ahead and click generate and generate all calibrations currently due. And it will print out the work order and it will print out the calibration sheet. Now I have a calibration sheet all set up, so I'll just show what that looks like. This is just one with a 25 degrees C temperature reading, and it shows you what you want to do, and if you had a norm value in there, it would print it out. But this is where you put the verified value, what you found, and then if you do the calibration, this is where you would record how you left it if you had to adjust anything. Now back here in the work order module, I'm going to go ahead and find those work orders that I just created. And they're right here. So there's the probe, form calibration. When I go into the calibration results sheet, now I can verify that I performed the temperature baths properly, and I could say that when I first recorded the value it was a 23, and after I calibrated it, it was a 25. And then this one was okay, this one was at 100. So that is the recording of the calibration values. And then you would go ahead and just close the work order as you would any PM. So it's rescheduled. And that's the calibration module in a nutshell.